Hi everyone, welcome to Orgo Essentials, Make Yourself Heard, Episode 3. In this episode, we'll learn about Marie Curie, an iconic chemist, physicist, and biologist. Let's get started. 6 feet under, plus an inch of lead. That's where Marie Curie, the famed chemist and physicist, can be found. The inch of lead is to protect visitors and passerby from the rays still radiating from her body. That's right. Even though she died more than 85 years ago, Curie was exposed to so much radiation that her body is still radioactive, a term that she herself coined. She's literally still changing the world around her. Marie was born Maria Salomea Sklodowska on November 7, 1867. Her mother, a musician and an educator, resigned from her position as the head of a school when Marie was born. Her father was also a teacher, working at a boys' high school teaching math and physics. Marie was the youngest of the family, often found playing and learning with her 4 older siblings. Unfortunately, the golden early years were cut short. When Marie was only 8, her oldest sister died of typhus. The tragedy only continued after this. 2 years later, at the age of 42, Marie's mother died of tuberculosis. Marie's father quickly took over her caretaking responsibilities. He frequently noted how Marie was drawn to his precise barometer and his miscellaneous scientific apparatus. Unfortunately, though Marie excelled in high school, finishing with the highest grades and awards, the University of Warsaw didn't yet admit women. She was at a roadblock. Luckily, Marie grew up in an era when Warsaw and much of the rest of Poland was under control of the Russian Tsar. She was used to challenges, accustomed to hiding her Polish identity and pride. A sexist institute wasn't going to stop her from doing what she loved. Instead, Marie decided to attend an illegal night school, deemed the Floating University. Though the place was established to hide Polish rebellion and culture from Russian authorities, Marie used it to simply educate herself. At first, she studied a wide range of subjects, from literature to physiology. However, after some time, she realized that her true calling was physics and chemistry. At the end of her years at the Floating University, Marie found another creative way to continue her education. She made an elaborate deal with her sister, Bronia. Marie would stay in Poland and work as a tutor for a few years, sending the money she earned to Bronia, so that she could study medicine at the University of Paris. After Bronia had earned her degree, they would switch. It was for this reason that Marie, perhaps the most famous female chemist of all time, spent 8 years as a governess, from the age of 16 to 24. During this time, she faced heartbreak, rejected for marriage because she was penniless, but she persevered. On her evenings and weekends off, she studied her books, learning mathematics and the basics of chemistry. To get her desperately needed lab experience, she located an illegal institute, disguised as an industrial museum. Finally, in the fall of 1891, Marie made it to the University of Paris, then known as the Sorbonne. Though the city was tempting, with its endless opportunities and riches, Marie stayed focused on her studies. She even moved from a nice, cushioned boarding house to a damp apartment, just to be closer to the school and her lab. Despite this dedication, she often found her lessons difficult, befuddled by the rapid, technical French. Additionally, her experiments rarely succeeded. In a letter back home, she noted that the way of progress is neither swift nor easy. After all this struggle, 2 good things happened to Marie. First, in 1893, she finished first in her master's program for physics and second in her master's program for mathematics. Secondly, in the spring of 1894, when she was just 26, she met Marie Curie, an up-and-coming physicist. The two instantly connected over their passion for science and problem-solving. Pierre had never been in love before, but he adored Marie and how serious she was about her work. They got married in July of 1895 and embarked on a romantic honeymoon biking across France. That same year, unbeknownst to the Curie family, the French scientist Henri Becquerel made a revolutionary discovery. By accident, he had found that uranium samples could emit rays that disrupted photography without even being exposed to light. When he presented this information in February of 1896, not many of the local scientists even cared. However, Marie thought it to be the perfect topic for her doctoral research. She loved that it was a relatively new topic, so she wasn't forced to read other studies and books in preparation for her thesis. She could jump straight into the experimentation. She was eager to begin, even though she had to work in a damp storeroom, which would disrupt the electrical charges from the uranium rays she was measuring. Undeterred by this, she made several key advancements. First, she found that the uranium rays were unaffected by changes in light, temperature, or matter form. The only factor that could change the intensity of radiation was the amount of radiation. This suggested that the radiation was a property of the metal itself, that it is an atomic property. At the time, most chemists still believed that atoms were indivisible, but Marie predicted that there was something inside the atom that was causing the energy to be emitted. Less than 4 months after beginning her doctoral research, Marie, Pierre, and another colleague published a paper describing the behavior of uranium. It was in this paper that the word radioactivity was first coined. This article also described the discovery that thorium exhibited the same radioactivity. Marie continued her research on radioactivity and the periodic elements for the rest of her life. In 1903, she won the Nobel Prize in Physics with Pierre, as well as the Davy Medal, awarded annually to an outstanding researcher in the field of chemistry. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. The next year, she was awarded the Marie Medal for physicists. In 1907, she won the Octonian Prize, a septennial award for notable scientific achievements. 2 years later, she won the Elliott-Cresson Medal, and 2 years after that, the Nobel Prize in Chemistry. In doing this, she became the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes, and the only person to win the Nobel Prize in 2 different fields. Unfortunately, all the radiation that shaped her life also impacted Marie's health. At the time of her death, she had cataracts and had to rely on her daughters to lead her around Sorbonne's campus. In 1934, she was diagnosed with aplastic anemia, which prevented her body from producing new blood cells. On July 4th of that year, at the age of 66, she passed away. She had revolutionized not just the scientific universe with her chemical and physical discoveries, but also the social world, leading the way for women in STEM and everywhere. Her legacy still inspires today. Her atoms still change the world. That's it for this video. If you have any questions so far, feel free to email me or comment down below. The next video will be about Gemma Redmond, a scientist who changed the biomedical world. I'll see you then!